And so my biggest takeaway is, it's not the waking up early, but it is the silence. And we cannot be afraid of silence because it has so much to teach to us. If I would have to name one thing that allows me to keep building the life that I want to live, to travel, to learn, and to share, it will be finding stillness in the morning hours. And you see, for me, let's say this morning habit or this ambition to start out my day that early started out in, I would say, like my mid, maybe you could call it late teens. It was a point, like everybody knows it. You're super confused, you don't know who you are, what you want to do. The expectations in school just overwhelm you. You don't see any point. My inner rebelliousness was really getting the best of me, to a point where I was really not doing much. I was just numbing myself. I was just escaping responsibility and not really taking any action towards anything. And add to that some family financial struggles, add to that maybe the first little heartache, the first little breakup. It all led up to a point of, and it was a point where I said to myself, hey, I need to find a way. I need to find a way to start out my days in a way of me deciding, what am I gonna do? I just love to wake up at that time and to get gym done before school. You know, it's actually quite funny to look back at now 5-6 years of actually documenting that, of actually running around on the streets. I hated the feeling of waking up in the morning having to do what you're supposed to do. The purpose was to take control of my life. That meant waking up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, to still have time to work, to go to school. It's like the beginning of something very big. Some people are talking like when they're young, I want to do that and I want to do this. And then when you get like 60, 70, you look back at your life and you say like, oh, I wish I would have done that. And let me make a public commitment. I want to take this YouTube channel, right now like 5,000 something subscribers, until the end of 2018 to at least 50,000 subscribers. By the end of 2019, I want to be in a position to work from wherever I am. And one of my big goals is to spend around 3 months in New York City, in Manhattan. I was really afraid to make that commitment, and I am kind of afraid of doing it so publicly, but I'm still gonna do it. I believe it's gonna push me even more. YouTube silver play button. The sunrise at the Brooklyn Bridge. Rising early all over the world, over 30 countries. It's quite a wild ride, but it's much more. And that's something that I realized. It's not necessarily the morning hours, while that almost for everyone might help to create this magic. It's about a certain stillness. It's about this book that I'm currently reading by Ryan Holiday that really puts this idea that I've experienced over the past few years to a slight extent. Page 36 of Stillness is Key. We are afraid of looking stupid. We are afraid of missing out. We are afraid of being the bad guy who says, nope, not interested. And we would rather make ourselves miserable than make ourselves a priority, than be our best selves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard.
All these inputs, we are afraid of silence. It's the simplest activities. It's about finding shelter in your own mind and being at home up here. When the whole world is in turbulence, you can find peace here. Just this idea of stillness. If you're gonna look through the greatest mind of our times, be for example Winston Churchill, who was laying in his backyard bricks just to calm and soothe his mind. Be it the Roman Empire, Marcus Aurelius, who every day took some time to journal, to write down his thoughts, to reflect on his daily life, just to slow down and to find stillness. And recently, as I've been working right now on setting up my podcast that is coming very soon, I've been interviewing the 2-time pro world natural champion in bodybuilding, Komang Ornawa, and he actually told me quite an interesting insight of how he starts out his days.
Generally, I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Really? So you do the 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. In the morning, normally, this is the thing. Maybe it's something that not for all people. In the morning, I clean my house. I sweep the garden.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a secret.
So I just somehow love doing that. So I'm just watering my garden good, and I do my breath work. So for 30 minutes breath work, my morning start. Just basically to appreciate what I have, and actually what we also know as a gratitude. Thank you for the morning that I still alive, basically fit and healthy.
I wouldn't say that it's the habit of waking up early that every quote-unquote successful or just a person that considers themselves to be in a good place shares is like waking up early. But I think what they all do have in common is finding a way to stand still. So now I would like to share with you how a morning of mine could look like, and also share with you the magic and maybe excite you to find that stillness in your life as well. Over the past 2 months while I've been here in Bali, very often a morning could start out in the rice fields. You go out, you rise with the sun, maybe you go for a run or just for a walk. It's like this stillness and this beauty around you that is always there, no matter how much there's going on in your life. There's no past, there's no future, just right here. And this is really where magic is created. Then usually hitting up the gym just afterwards to really get the blood going, to really wake me up and give me this feeling of anything is possible from here. Another big thing that I just recently again started to implement in my life is reading books. If you are like me, so used to this rush of the fast media, of the video, of the quick jump cut 3 minutes, maybe even the podcast where you just can do so many things next to it, it's so hard to calm your mind. It forced me to slow down, it committing to acquiring that knowledge, and it slowed down my mind. And it's another thing that I absolutely love to do in the morning. That's something that I'm doing here right now on the top of the cliff. That is something that I've been in the past few months doing in India, in the United Arab Emirates, in the Philippines, in the absolute tropical lonely islands that I had the amazing opportunities to stay. But was it the place? Nah, because very often I am at such an amazing place like that, but if you are not able to let it land, if you are not able to find that stillness, to actually see it and feel it, it doesn't matter where you are. And that is one of the biggest lessons and beauties that travel ever taught me. This is one of the biggest lessons that waking up early and finding stillness ever taught me, that no matter where I am, I can find it all inside of here. And really, if I look back at my life, the 16, 17, 18-year-old Danny, having no idea how his life is gonna go, but just knowing that this feels right, just knowing that this was giving me the clarity and the direction and it allowed me to make the decision to be more courageous and to go out and to be able, we're just starting. or just starting, but to be able to stand on the edge of the cliff and know that the past few years I unconditionally pursued what I know is right, not just for me, but also the responsibility that I see in sharing. So with that, thank you very much for watching. As of right now, I am in an extreme flow of pumping out these videos, not holding anything back. And if you would like to support my work, check out the description box. Next to that, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, be it building an online presence, getting and staying in shape, just shoot me an email, tell me about yourself, who you are, what you do, and if we are a good match, we can kick it off and make it happen. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time.